Welcome to the 2016 Tectonic Summit. Here's your host, Redbeard.
Good morning, everyone. And as a part of this, I would like to take an opportunity to say welcome. You notice I had to transition a little bit because anybody who's seen me do a presentation before knows that things aren't small. I generally try to make things as obvious as possible. So let's get a bit more bold and let's jump into things directly. So I am your host, Redbeard. Our marketing team very helpfully took this photo of me last year, and apparently in New York, I always wear the same suit. So we're just going to use that file photo and keep moving on. So in general, I just want to say this conference is for you. That's why we're here. We are here because of you, the things that you're going to share and collaborate on, and if you need anything at all, please feel free to grab someone with one of the blue staff badges. If it's something of a more sensitive nature, something that you don't necessarily want to just discuss with anybody, feel free to track me down. Obviously, I'm rather conspicuous, as it were, to be able to pull out of a crowd. But on top of that, these are also ways that you can get in touch with me. So if anything from code of conduct type issue all the way out to just, you need somebody to handle, a plumbing issue, I'm there, and I'll help you get it fixed. So I've been at CoreOS since pretty much the very beginning. It wasn't, there was a little bit of a span there where I was not directly on board, but, it began from a very simple idea that if people would just patch things, everything would be a much better place on the internet. So that's why I joined CoreOS. That's why I left Red Hat. And, I have to say, it's been a pretty fantastic 3 years that I've watched everything unfold from, and the view from behind the scenes has been absolutely riveting. I mean, I can't say enough about it. But shortly after, I showed up there, there was a little bit of a snafu that happened on the internet, and in working at CoreOS, I was right after joining, working with a major video game platform, and I remember them calling and freaking out the morning that Heartbleed was actually released and saying, "Please don't come in until later in the afternoon. Oh God, everything is falling apart." And I told them, of course, no problem. No problem, I can do that. We are here for you. And I showed up and, kind of explained to them, everything's fine. Everything's fine, and everything is taken care of. That's the promise of what CoreOS is actually doing. And I'm really excited because our CEO, Alex, right after this, is going to explain all of this to you, the how and the why and, the differentiation there. But you're not here to listen to me wax nostalgic on this. We're here to talk about Kubernetes. So let's talk about Kubernetes. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, Kubernetes is a container orchestrator, and it's a container scheduler. And for those of you who have been using Kubernetes a bit longer, over the next 2 days, you're going to hear a lot of discussions about how the project is being used specifically by enterprise companies. And we've queued everything up pretty well so that you have all of the main community leaders here to discuss what's going on upstream with the project. But on top of that, we've also made sure that we have a lot of the industry leaders, the folks who have bet their career and are already seeing the total payoff of having Kubernetes available. But more than that, you're also going to have the opportunity to see the future of Kubernetes and how everything is being federated together to build bigger and larger and more effective clusters of machines. And this is part of the promise of why we at CoreOS are so excited about working with the Kubernetes project. So most importantly, let's take the opportunity to celebrate from the perspective of the organizers, the developers, and the committers, the other sponsors and vendors here. We want to take this venue and share it with you. Over the past few years, we've seen that the Kubernetes project has hit critical mass. We are at the point of having over 1,000 developers, and we've hit over 40,000 commits on the project. As Alex said, that's an absolutely astonishing level of code velocity. So while things aren't exactly slowing down and they're only going to move up from here, we are very, very fortunate to be involved with this project. I would also like to take a second to thank all of our sponsors, Intel, Google, and Amazon, in addition to Tigera, VMware, Sysdig, DigitalOcean, and Packet. They all have things here to share with you, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic to listen to. But on to more important things. you care about your Wi-Fi. I'm going to make sure that over the next 2 days, you, by hell or high water, can spell Kubernetes. So take that in. Hopefully you'll be able to crack the code, as it were. But tonight, we are going to have more of a soiree that's going to be provided to us by Intel with a whiskey tasting courtesy of Tigera. It's going to be here at the Conrad Hotel, so please stick around for that. And then directly afterwards, we're going to have an after party by Sysdig with, very, very fortunately, a band who's been brought in by Ticketmaster. I am kind of a dummy. I didn't necessarily make the connection until yesterday that, of course, Ticketmaster could get a band to play. You can be smart, but doesn't mean you always make the connections. But now, I would like to take the opportunity. So Alex Polvey, previous to CoreOS, was the general manager of Rackspace and was one of the leading thinkers over there in the cloud product development team. So I would like to bring him up here. And now, Alex Polvey of CoreOS.